Name 1917. One sentence summary. Two men must deliver an important message across war-torn France. Could you beat the villain? Could it beat the First World War? It would take some time because there isn't like a Hitler-like figure I could take out and destroy one side. So it'd be peace talks and de-escalation. So yeah, I could do that. Also, could I deliver this message to stop a bunch of guys walking into an ambush? Yeah, it may be less exciting, but I would have taken like a bike or a car or a plane, gone the long way round instead of cutting straight across no man's land and being fraught with danger. How would you improve the film? Colin Firth's plan is to send two guys because two guys can travel faster than a whole group, which sort of makes sense. But you would think at least he'd be like, right, I need the absolute best of the best that you've got available, and I'm going to send a guy who's got a brother in the Devonshires, and I'm going to send his mate, just to make sure at least one of them gets to the end, I wish I hadn't seen the trailer, because it kind of gives away a lot of stuff. You can put together the story of what happens just by watching the trailer. During one of the many incredible long shots, because this is made up as if it's like done in one take. You can see the cuts, but it's fine. During one of the many long shots, the camera kind of goes from where Schofield, one of the guys, is, round through a crowd and then back towards him. And one of the guys sitting in the crowd kind of moves out of the way of the camera. And I think one of the geezers carrying a stretcher towards the end of the film looked at the camera as well. But there you go. The Germans in this can't shoot straight. Schofield didn't look after his kit very well, and having watched one episode of SAS Who Dares Wins, I know the army kind of frowns on that sort of thing. And I know that, the guys were under pressure and all that sort of stuff, tense and fearful and all that sort of thing, but I would have at least tried to keep my helmet and my rifle, because in a war zone I might need those later. The Germans destroyed everything as they retreated, chopping down trees and, maybe even killing a dog. So where did that one cow come from, and who milked it? So the soldiers during World War One clearly weren't trained how to run away from things that are falling towards you, like planes. You don't do it in a straight line. You go off to the side. That's just smart. Also, they clearly weren't trained how to enter a room that may have a hostile in it. So at the start of the film, Blake and Schofield are given some kit, including some grenades, and then later in the film they mention, oh well, it's fine, everyone's retreated, and that's what Blake says, and then Schofield says, well, why did they give us the grenades then? Clearly meaning that he knows that they know that there's danger afoot. And they never use the grenades. So I would have used the grenades in one of two scenes. One, where they're entering the room with the potential hostile man. I would just chucked a grenade in there, close the door, wait for it to go bang. Not very sporting, but there you go. Two, there's like an intense chase scene, again towards the end of the film, which I would have turned into more of an action scene, and he could have used his grenades there. But there you go. If video games have taught me anything, it's that you need to loot corpses for ammo and supplies, be they friend or foe. No one wants to do it, but it's just smart. Blake should have given a better description of his brother instead of just saying he looks like me but older. There's a ton of dudes who looked kind of like that. Schofield left a lady's door open, which was very rude of him. He just walked straight out. It got light surprisingly quickly. Dunno. And apart from a bit of dust in the eye, Blake and Schofield survived like explosions and danger and all that sort of thing with remarkably little scratches. So that's good on them. Some of the dialogue by Billy Elliot, aka Blake, was a bit clunky, and they shoved a lot of people, and that's not necessary. Even in times of war, you just say, excuse me, and you walk and you queue like a British person. Running across the front line is a terrible idea. I know there was like obstacles and people in his way, but this is the one chance or the one time when it would have been okay to push people. Don't run across the front line. And it is very lucky that the letter that called off the attack survived being in kind of a river and a waterfall and didn't get all soggy and unreadable. There you go. Rating out of 5 beers, I'm going to give this a 1. A 1 beer out of 5. It was like the reverse of Cats. Good. So there was an old man sitting next to me who fell asleep before the film had really even started. And as I was leaving the cinema, a guy said that it was shit, and he's an idiot. It's not. It's brilliant. There's an episode of Malcolm in the Middle where Hal gets into speed walking, and he has a dream that he has to deliver a message, from someone at the front line to the Allies or somewhere else. And it's kind of like that, but like it's like these really intense, long, well acted, mostly apart from Billy Elliot, shots, and like, it's really good. It's just good. So